Hello, today I'm going to show you the Rails Web Console and different ways you can invoke it. To get started, I'll just generate a new Rails app, Rails new hello, and I'll open up my editor here. Oops, I want to be in the folder, hello, and I'll open up a browser and actually put this up here, my browser, put in the corner here. So uh, First, what I'll do is within this app, I'm going to generate a controller. Just have to wait for the install. There, it's done. So Rails generate the controller, hello world, just to get a sample page. It needs to be inside here, of course. Uh, Now let's just pull this up. We'll start the server. And here we're on Rails. Basically, I've just generated this sample page. That'll be under Hello World. And there it is. No doubt you have seen this black bar at the bottom when an error is raised, and you likely know what caused it, but just in case, we'll just go over that. So open up this controller, and within here, I'm just going to raise hell, refresh my page, and here the error was raised, and at the bottom you get this box, which is a console. So here I can access whatever the environment is at the point of the error. So it's kind of like putting a binding.pry or binding.irb in, but it's through a web console. So here we can see the params, for example. If you had a model like, say, users, you could type user.all and see all of that. I don't have any models in this app, so that's not going to work. So now, but what if you want to see this console when you don't have an error? So if I just comment this out, refresh the page, there is no console. So if I want to see that console, there's a few different ways you can do it. First, I'll show you by adding it to the view. So let's open up this view. You can just, in an ERB tag, put a console. You don't need the equals because it's just really invoking that command, but it's not actually displaying it where you put the word console. So I'll save that and refresh. And now I get this console, even though I didn't have to raise an error. So if I look at the params, it's there. So let's set up a few instance variables. Here I'll call this cats. We'll make this an array. These are my cats, Ray and Egon. And then we'll also have set up one other. We'll say a dog, and we'll make this a hash. The name is Fido, and the sound can be woof. So now when I refresh the browser and I go to the web console, I'll have access to whatever in the environment for this particular view. So I can see the cats here, and I can see the dog here. So, and all I had to do was just put console in the handlebars. So now there's different ways you can do this. What if you always want a console down here, no matter what page you're on in your app? What you could do is move this to your layout. So I'll open up the layout. So here we've got that layout application. And what I'll do is I'll put it down here. Save that. Refresh the browser. And there it is. It's still here. Now if I try to have it in more than one spot, I'm going to get a double render error on the web console. Web console double render error. So you can only put it in one spot. But now that it's in the layout, it'll be in any other view as well. So let's generate another action. Actually, I won't generate it. I'll just duplicate this here, and I'll call this one Cruel World, and I'll get rid of the instance variables, and then here I'll just duplicate this. We'll make this Cruel World, and we'll just also up here we'll say Cruel, just so we can see the difference. So I've got these two views. One is Hello World, and the other will be Hello Cruel World. So let's see here. Now we need a route as well, so I'll put that in. Routes. So add one more here. Okay, so I've got one view here for getting the web console. Now this one, shouldn't have access to cats or dog because I didn't set up those instance variables in this action. But here on Hello World, we of course still have access to those, cats and dog. So that's one way you can always have this console. Now, of course, you don't want this in production, and there's some safeguards already built into the web console. But what you could do here is just say if rails.env.development, that will only show up when you're in development. It won't show up in production or even in test. So now you don't even need to put it in the template. So what you could do here is instead of here, what I can do is I can actually put it in the controller. Let's say you're debugging, you want to see the console. First I'll just show there is no more console. Let's put a console command here, save that, refresh, and we're going to get the console again. And again, like if you want this in all of your controllers or and actions, then let me just put if rails.env.development back there. Refresh, it's working. Now it's not going to show up on the Cruel World because it's just in that one action. So go over to the Cruel World, no web console. But what you could do is if you wanted it in all of them and you don't want to put console in the view, then you could put it in the application controller. So we'll open up that. And you could just make a before filter or before action. So we'll say setup console, and then put this in here, save that, and refresh the page. And now we've got our web console on whichever controller and action we're looking at. I think that's all I wanted to go over. The reason I'm showing you this web console here is because I have some ideas for some other videos that are going to build on the web console. But first I just wanted to introduce you to it. Okay, so just look at my notes, make sure I covered everything. Yep. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.